No one in the Galactic Union truly understood the humans until it was far too late. For decades, they'd seemed harmless enough, an upstart Deathworld species whose resilience was almost amusing. They smiled too easily, adapted too quickly, and asked far too many questions. They loved new foods, new languages, and new worlds. They never seemed to stop moving, exploring, settling, building. But the real terror, the Union would later realize, didn't lie in humanity's curiosity. It lay in something far older, baked into their bones. When humans ran, they never ran away. Captain Ralcath of the Varen High Guard stood on the observation deck, flanked by his generals. The armored windows of the orbital fortress gave him a perfect view of the Union training grounds far below. Dozens of species, some scaled, some furred, some insectoid, marched and drilled in formation, their banners snapping in the cold wind. At the edge of the parade ground stood the human detachment. A mere 400 Deathworlders, lean and upright in their mismatched combat gear, helmets tucked under their arms. Beside them were massive crates of supplies sealed tight. General Kalor clicked his mandibles. Why do they bring so much personal kit? The Union provides weapons. Ralcath shrugged. Primitive Deathworlder habits, perhaps. They insist on doing things their way. We'll see how long that lasts. On the ground, the alien commanders barked the day's orders. Demonstrate battle formations. Show the Union how your people fight. The first species up, the Kalkari, performed flawless shield wall maneuvers, reptilian tails swaying in unison. The Felra pack hunters darted back and forth in coordinated strikes. Each species showed off a unique style, precise, efficient, disciplined. Then it was the humans' turn. The humans dropped their crates, popped them open, and pulled out battered old boots, reinforced, scuffed, and dusted with old mud. They strapped on faded rucksacks, adjusted the weight on their shoulders, and started to stretch arms, legs, necks, rolling their shoulders. A few laughed and patted each other on the back. One of the Varen officers frowned. What are they doing? Where are their weapons? Ralcath leaned closer to the glass. Where are their weapons? A whistle blew. And then, in perfect unison, the humans started running. Not marching. Not advancing in rigid lines. Running. They thundered across the training field in loose groups, shoulders low, feet pounding the hard-packed soil. They sprinted toward the tree line at the field's edge, then vanished into the forest, weaving through thick trunks and underbrush, packs bouncing on their backs. Ralcath's lip curled. Is this a joke? They flee from the battlefield. But an old Varen war historian in the corner, a relic from the border wars, shook his wrinkled head, eyes wide. No, he whispered. They're not fleeing. Hours passed. The next species displayed advanced long-range bombardment drills. The humans were nowhere to be seen. An aide ran up to the observation deck, breathless. Captain. Yes, sir. The humans. Where are they? Ralcath snapped. Everywhere, sir. The aide squeaked. There. Before he could finish, the trees on the far side of the parade ground exploded with motion. Dozens of human fire teams burst from the shadows, faces smeared with mud and leaves stuck to their helmets. They moved in a blur, flanking the unsuspecting Kalkari. Paint rounds spattered scaly hides. Other squads emerged behind the Felra pack, silently tagging them with bright orange paint knives. On every hill, in every copse of trees, humans seemed to appear out of nowhere, moving fast, striking faster. Where the Union's elite formations held rigid lines, the humans flowed like water, diving into gullies, sprinting through thickets, always advancing. Ralcath watched in frozen silence as his so-called high guard were eliminated one by one. The entire training ground became a maze of confusion and ambushes. In less than 20 minutes, the simulation was over. The humans regrouped at the center of the field, muddy, sweat-soaked, grinning as they high-fived each other. The old historian turned to Ralcath, voice hoarse. Now you see. They never run from the enemy. They run at them. They run to get behind you, around you, through you. It's how they hunted on their death world, persistence hunting. They chase you until you fall. Ralcath stared at the field, at the humans already stripping off packs and laughing among themselves as if they hadn't just humiliated the galaxy's finest. They're Deathworlders, the historian said. But their true weapon is their legs. When they start running, pray they never stop. Far below, the humans dropped to the ground to stretch again, laughing, ready to run another mile if they had to. And in the watching hearts of the Union's strongest warriors, a single thought echoed in horror. We thought we understood them. We never did.